Hello, welcome back to the Wrestling Newsroom. I'm your host, All Things Wrestling, and today we're going to look at the wrestling news from Thursday. Sorry about not doing this episode earlier or filming Wednesday's episode, but I haven't got a car at the minute, so I can't come home on breaks, which is when I normally film these episodes. I'm getting the car sorted by Monday, so we're going to be back to our regular schedule next week. Let's get straight into it. John Bravo, who is involved with the Robert Rodriguez steroid story, which apparently includes Roman Reigns, sent out teasers about it. One was a picture of GNC Livewell, I don't know where it is, a key to the Reigns case, which is currently being filmed on location. The story is very interesting, and this is a clue to what is coming. More details to follow. Hashtag Roman Reigns, Mark Wahlberg, Josh Dunhelm, and then at TMZ, and then they put hashtag WWE WrestleMania Royal Rumble Brock Lesnar. It's just as much crap they could get to fit in there. And then they teased, I'm actually going to show you the picture because it's going to be a lot easier than explaining. Can you see that? Yeah. And they teased that picture with the thing saying Roman Reigns denied knowing WFN or Richard Rodriguez. However, his contact record has been found on the laptop, which was originally seized by the DEA and now is in my possession. Is there more to this story? Find out shortly. I would like to mention, you're saying his contact information, which says Reigns Wrestler, which obviously means Roman Reigns Wrestler, clearly. It's a contact. You can save anyone's name under that. If we want proof, ring the fucker and see if Roman Reigns actually picks up. Because I'm sorry, but I could change my contact from Dad to Mark Wahlberg or Hulk Hogan or whatever I wanted to. And then I could say, oh look, I know Hulk Hogan. It doesn't prove anything. And why is he saved under his wrestling name when he's not even his real name? Surely you'd do business under your real name to try and not get caught? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what this whole situation pans out like. I will be covering every aspect of it. And then we go to the Raw number this week was pretty decent. It was 3.280 million viewers, which was up from last week's 3.105 million viewers. It actually had a rock solid 3.5 million viewer through the first 2 hours and then dropped to 2.8, which is why it kind of dropped off. Imagine if it stayed at, it could have got over like a 3.3 if it stuck around. But yeah, that's decent numbers, to be fair. And then where is it? Both Raw and SmackDown Live have been having particularly poor crowds, but the SmackDown Live was even more. Apparently the entire upper deck was empty and the empty sections on the hard cam side. It literally like half the arena. That really is bad. Jesus Christ, that is not looking good for the turnout. Let's hope they sort something out really quickly. And then Justin Barroso talked about Jeff Jarrett going into the Hall of Fame, saying the decision to induct Jeff Jarrett was pushed for by Triple H following the hire of former long-time employee Jeremy Borash. The question now exists whether Jarrett would fit into Triple H's team for the NXT and developmental. I would personally say yes. And speaking of Jeremy Borash and Jeff Jarrett, Jim Ross commented on Jeremy Borash signing with WWE. It's another great hire. I can't tell you when WWE has made a cooler hire in any area, quite frankly. He's a great get guy, I assume that's meant to say. Can do a lot of things. He doesn't even have to be on camera. For example, his value, his worth in character creation and development, the production side. He's got great product knowledge. He has an insane work ethic, which I really admire. Then hit the goldmine with him. They hit the goldmine with him. I think he's going to focus on NXT stuff, so that's great slot for him, in my opinion. I can't wait to see what they do with Jeremy Borash. maybe Jeff Jarrett will have a SmackDown Live writer's spot. Maybe, who knows? I'm looking optimistic towards the future. And then, despite public speculation about the figure, Justin Barrasso is doubling down on his report about Dolph Ziggler's new contract. He said, the digital revenue to WWE creators is an exorbitant amount of the company. Dolph Ziggler's prior contract containing a downside guarantee of $1 million per year, the extra $500,000 to keep him in the company and happy. The money is well spent for WWE. Fair point. We'll have to wait and see, but I don't think we'll ever get an official answer. And then Dana Brooke called out WWE on social media about the decision to have a 7-man chamber for the men, but not the women. She went, hello, according to my numbers, the 7 men superstars in the chamber, therefore I should be included 7 women. Oh wait, Invisible Woman again, or just overlooked pure talent. I'm going to say this very nicely, Dana Brooke. You're not overlooked, you're just shit. It is just pure that reason. And they're not going to do 7 women in the chamber for the first ever chamber. They're not going to, we're going to have 7 women. Just have the 6 and have it a traditional match, for the love of God. Let's move on. And then Wade Barrett did an interview with Sports Bible and talks about WWE misusing talents. WWE misuse a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys you can do more with, but in the end of the day, they pick the guys they want to go with and go with them. I don't think they purposely sabotage. I think they have limited spots to be at the top of the card or the highlighted guys. There's probably 7 or 8 guys where they're like, these guys are our main guys going forward for the next 6 to 12 months. They need to be the guys getting the biggest reactions, being involved in the biggest storylines and stuff like that. So if there's a guy who's getting a big reaction than them, then I think there's an attempt to make sure that reaction transfers onto the guys they are going with. The guys they want to push. They are just limited number of spots. That's the issue. You can't have everyone in those spots. Absolutely. We talked about this on the podcast when we did it. You can't have everyone going for a title, everyone doing this, even though there's so many talents that deserve it. And then we go to the really surprising news that according to PW Insider, they reported that Vince McMahon was the one who came up with the idea for the gauntlet match on this week's Raw. McMahon, who has been traditionally against long TV matches, reportedly suggested the idea out of nowhere and approved the length and the presentation of the match. And there's also speculation on why Seth Rollins is being pushed. The belief is that Rollins will be feuding with Roman Reigns after WrestleMania 34. With a lack of top heels on the Raw brand, there's speculation that WWE will either turn Rollins heel or switch Rollins to SmackDown Live and bring him a top SmackDown Live star to feud with Reigns. Oh God, please swap Rollins to SmackDown and save it. It was the best goddamn show and it's now nowhere near as good as what it used to be. Rude dog, I know you're meant to be doing a good job, but fuck off. Your lousy writing is not doing a good job. Seriously, I'm not going to get into a whole rant. I might bring this up in the podcast next week if we do one. So yeah, stay tuned for that, but I'm going to get into that whole meat and pie and everything and that. And then, while being interviewed by TMZ, Randy Orton was asked about Ronda Rousey being WWE. Here's what his response was. I don't know anything about Rousey. She's on Raw. I'm on SmackDown. I've never met her. I don't watch Raw. Fair point. I get the man. He doesn't watch another product. He works 300 days a year. Why is he going to watch the other product for 3 hours? I can completely get that. I get that completely. And then Velveteen Dream shoots on an indie wrestler. I'm going to say how that article. If I can shoot for a minute, I'm beyond irritated by the indie guys coming into NXT, taking up spots, living out their dreams, pretending to be actual talent, or, as we put it, superstars. I'm a homegrown talent, and I breed success on my own terms. Reactions prove it. Facts are facts. If anyone under contract has issue with the dream, it's easy to find. With it, the dream is easy to find. Okay, so what I'm going to gather, this is going to set up a feud with one of these indie guys. Ricochet, EC3, one of them. I think that sounds like it's going to be that. Because, to be honest, with the thing is, if anyone under contract has issue with the Dream, with it, sorry, he didn't put a full stop there. If anyone has an issue with it, the Dream is easy to find. Hashtag fab that. I'm sorry, but he put, if anyone under contract has issue with that, which kind of means it's set up a feud, I think. And then the final story, Paul Heyman was recently interviewed by TMZ and was asked about Brock Lesnar possibly returning to UFC and if the time away could hurt his chances of making a comeback. I think Brock Lesnar does whatever Brock Lesnar wants to do. If Brock Lesnar wants to find UFC, then Brock Lesnar will find UFC. If Brock Lesnar wants to find WWE, then he'll find WWE. Ask Braun Strowman, ask Randy Orton, ask The Undertaker. Brock Lesnar does what Brock Lesnar wants to do. The time away actually makes him better because his body gets a chance to heal. The problem with all these UFC fighters is they're all fantastic athletes, top of the world. They all wear their bodies down in these training camps. All these guys are cutting weights, destroying their bodies. Brock Lesnar is probably the healthiest fighter to enter UFC if he's decided to do that. He's always ready, always. I want to see how it actually sounds.
Back to the UFC, wants to fight in WWE, he will fight in WWE like, hey.
My God, he's looking really fucking old.
He goes back to the UFC.
No, look, generally Paul Heyman is looking really old. Sorry about my random outburst there, but bloody hell. But yeah, that's the newsroom. I do hope you enjoyed it. As always, please give this video a like. Please support me on Patreon. Link in the description below. Subscribe to see more content, and I'll catch you later.